is Jamaica, baby. Let's go.
I love the Latino-fy, the Jamaica victory.
You know what, Jamaica?
Love.
You're officially a part of the Caribbean now.
Wow.
I am so glad that we were able to share our reggaeton beat with you so you can make reggae music.
Yeah, we all know where it started, for real, for real.
I mean, if we're going to talk about, in fact, I want to make a commemorative shirt for reggae. I'm going to write the word reggae on it. It is honoring reggae by writing the word reggae on it.
I'm glad us Latinos could impart our culture,
I don't want to speak. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you're welcome. I think the music is going to do well. If I were you, I would share it. And this is just from the top of the dome. Share it with a Marley family member. They might be into it.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Cooligans Women's World Cup Daily. Yes, we are being sarcastic. We have to start the show. You know what? People
don't know we're funny.
People don't know we're funny. Get it. People are forgetting. I guess because we haven't really said this up top much since the beginning of the show years ago. We are stand-up comedians. We do a comedy show about soccer / football, whatever you want to call it.
Calcio, balompié.
We're not just guys who are offering terrible takes that make no sense.
We're doing that so that you laugh with us.
Okay, we're doing a little more than just that, but that is a big part of the show. So
yeah.
So because there's a lot of new fans and new listeners who are tuning in for the Women's World Cup. And they're being like, okay, this is all off-putting. These guys are saying very dumb things. How are these professional soccer pundits saying such dumb things? And it's like, well, that's the point. That's what we're doing, okay?
There's a lot of places to get soccer pundits not saying stupid things.
Yeah.
I'm sure right now you're thinking of a few places that don't qualify for that statement I just made. It's up to you to figure that out. This is one of the places you go when, I've already heard data. I've already heard facts. I done seen the charts. I come here to just kick back and talk with my dumb friends who happen to be funnier than my real dumb friends. That's us, baby.
That's it. That is on our business cards. Your dumb friends that know a little bit about soccer. That's all it is, okay? So
that's it.
That's it. All right. So we're
God, Marta. In fact, if I were you, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes, I would chill. Okay, now keep that in mind because we'll talk about that.
But keep that in the back of your mind. Yeah.
Right.
About chilling. All right. It's very important.
It's a very important topic.
You're gonna get quizzed later, so just be prepared.
Yeah, I feel like if you look up there, you'll see what I'm talking about. But that's not for right this moment. That's
right. So, but we have
right now. This is Jamaica's moment. They just knocked Brazil out the World Cup. You heard me. Brazil has been knocked out of a World Cup before the group stages for the first time since 1995.
Well, they weren't knocked out before the group stages, before the knockout stages.
They
wouldn't have made it to the World Cup if they
didn't
were
make it out of the group stages.
Before the group stages.
Yeah, since 1995. That's the important part.
So just another example of the stupid things that we say, okay?
Yeah, right. You should be laughing at me at this moment.
But congratulations to Jamaica, a 0-0.
The Reggae Girlz.
The Reggae Girlz 0-0 draw in a group stage that they really impressed. I mean, I want to highlight the fact that this is the first Caribbean nation to make it to the knockout stages in a Women's World Cup. A huge story. And this was, when we talked about the matchup, this felt a little bit like, oh, Brazil got this. But this is the one thing. We'll talk about Brazil in more detail. But Brazil, for the most part, have, in these group stages, have looked amazing. They literally did look really good. Until
they ran into the Bunny Shaw juggernaut.
Well, even it was impressive. Also, the win against Jamaica's win against Panama, the draw against France. That's the one. The tremendous result. I mean, the win against Panama was very good and cool, but the draw to France and then the late goal that Brazil gave up to France is really the difference. They just kind of. Wendy Renard, it's Wendy Renard. She's going to do her thing. She does it, for her club. She does it for her country. But that was really the difference because now Brazil needed a result in this game. And as soon as, as soon as it gets to the point where Jamaica had the leverage of like, yo, we don't have to score. You got to score. And it doesn't matter how many stepovers you do. It doesn't matter how great you look. And again, Brazil did look great. They look great in all 3 games.
Here's the thing, though. They might be, I don't know this for a fact, and we don't have researchers. Mike, maybe you could find this. They might be the first team to qualify out the group stages, to get out of the group stages without having scored a goal.
What do you mean? Who? Jamaica?
Jamaica. No, they beat Panama 1-0.
Yeah, beat Panama. What do you mean?
Yeah. Never mind. Because I know it was 2 0-0 draws. They started off with a 0-0 draw against France, 0-0 draw against Brazil. They did. They scored only 1 goal, but they haven't given up any. They have 3 clean sheets in a row. That is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so that's where it is really like impressive. Just I'm watching Jamaica, I'm watching Brazil, and I'm just like jealous. I'm like, wow, they really have a tactical game plan. They're pretty composed. Even though
also,
Jamaica,
all the players in the positions they're in seem like they're trained to play those positions.
Even Jamaica, who didn't have a lot of the ball, played with a lot of confidence defensively. Yeah, there were a couple big moments, and they needed their keeper to do a little bit of work. But for the most part, played. Brazil didn't have too many just great chances and great shots on goal. There was always a defender there, always somebody that gave a Brazil attacker a lot of trouble. So just such an impressive, these 3 games, really impressive. I don't know who Jamaica will end up playing in the knockout round, but a lot of praise to them, especially with all the issues that they're having with their federation. We talk about this all the time, but just like they barely made it to the World Cup. There was issues with like their flights.
No, they had a GoFundMe. Sadella Marley, I believe her name is. I hope I'm not mispronouncing her first name or getting it wrong. But one of the Marley family members, had to do like a benefit concerts and stuff to get this team money so that they could go. And there was a moment, I can't remember which player it was, but at the end of the match, it was a player who's seen on camera looking up in the stands going, "I told you so. I told you so." And to me, it's like should be an iconic moment for this federation. I get that the federation in general is in trouble. The men's team have argued, have complained as well, and talked about how difficult it's been for them. But we shouldn't need, superstars within a country doing benefit concerts so that you can get a team like this into the World Cup, and to see them get through. And honestly, to me, the biggest name out of this Jamaica team, I know everyone's talking about Bunny Shaw, and she's a superstar for the future. Facts. And you saw Marta, she was crying, and Marta was like giving her a lot of compliments. And I don't know what she was saying, but it seemed inspirational at the time. I want to talk about Rebecca Spencer, their goalkeeper. 8 shots on target, 8 saves, absolutely stood on her head this game throughout the entire group stage competition. She currently plays for Tottenham. I generally don't compliment people on Tottenham, but she deserves it. To me, it's like these are the storylines that are coming out, and it's so frustrating to me how much we complained about the U.S. women's national team while getting out of the group stages. Yet a situation like this, it's like nothing but praise, because this was unexpected. This was it's a beautiful story. And it's like, these are the storylines you kind of want to watch the Women's World Cup for. Yeah,
there is that balance of expectation and then also pride, right? Because the U.S. it's a completely different context. We all have the expectation that they should thrive and do well.
We got the money, we got the development, we got the expectations, we got the wins. We got it all. We should be winning, but a team like this, everyone could get behind.
Right. And I think it requires a little bit of humbling. We should also be a little bit proud that they did move on to the knockout stage. It can't just simply be we didn't crush everybody 14-0.
No, dude, we're extremely proud that Jamaica got out of it, bro. We're super proud, bro. The U.S. got some questions, but Jamaica, no. Jamaica.
Just the results from match day 14. I mean, we don't have too much time to talk about South Africa, Italy, but South Africa getting the late goal.
Bayana.
Yeah.
Bayana. I mean, absolutely incredible. South Africa going through another country with problems with their federation. And also, look, they did not win, okay? France did beat Panama, did score 6 goals on them. But can we talk about Panama scoring 3 goals on France, though?
Yeah,
that's technically a win, bro.
I did love, I mean, obviously, the first goal,
Marta Cox.
Marta in her post-game interview today said there will never be another Marta. Bro, there was another Marta playing right there in the exact same time as you.
Yeah, dude. Marta Cox was like, I don't know about y'all, but I did what I came here to do. That should be her post game.
What a great
Marta
free
Cox,
kick.
Bro. That was a fuakata.
That was official. Get the stamp. A fuakata stamp. Because
hold on, is this? That's the noise now for fuakata. Okay.
That was in the first minute of the game. I mean, it was just like right in the beginning. What a banger!
It was right before we went on air that the game started. A little bit before we went on air, we were just finishing the pre-production meeting, and someone goes, "Panama just scored on France," and we were like, "Don't you dare joke." Okay.
This is not the time nor the place.
Don't you see that we are surrounded by bad bagels? This is not the place to joke. Okay.
Okay.
And then I looked down.
Are you listening? Oh my God. Are you listening, CBS?
Yeah. These are the jokers you're hiring. You take nothing serious.
But no, it's just an incredible moment for Panama. I'll give props to Panama because they obviously were already out of this World Cup. They were just playing in their final group stage match, but they were dancing, celebrating the goals. It was a very emotional time. I've been sort of seeing a lot of subtweeting from a lot of accounts, not even from the Fox account. Everybody's highlighting. Oh, look, Jamaica's dancing, celebrating, going to the next round or whatever. Or like the Panamanian women dancing after even losing the game, but they're dancing because they obviously Panama's incredibly proud and the fans are really supportive. And so everybody's like, look at the Panamanians dancing. And it's like, all right, what? Y'all are like, you're being subtle about it, but I see what you're doing.
Carly somewhere is like the mayor of the of that footloose town. Like, stop dancing.
No, these darn kids.
Stop moving your hips.
So, but I love that for Panama. Obviously it's just such an incredible accomplishment to get to the World Cup. And look, yeah, it didn't work out as you had hoped, but what a showing, and to score against France, it's worth dancing. Even if you lose the game, I think within context, it makes complete sense. So very, very happy for them. But let's talk about.
And I also want to clarify my statements.
Okay, I've been waiting
dance
for
all you want.
Lots of people were very upset.
People were very. I mean, look. I honestly don't know what buttons I hit.
I don't know. I was like, why is he just quiet?
Oh, you didn't hear it?
No, I didn't hear it. What was it?
Oh, yeah, it was. I think I hit this one.
Do you hear it? Loud enough, but yeah. Now I got it.
I do want to clarify my statements. I still don't care if you dance. All right? The only time I care, I had this conversation with someone else on the show who is a little bit more traditional than I am. That's all I'm going to say. And they were like, well, it sends the wrong message. To who? You send the wrong message to who? Now, here's where I have a problem with you dancing and enjoying yourself. Are you doing that instead of training? Right. Then I'm upset. Are you doing that instead of playing the game? If it's the 68 minute and you're out there electric boogalooing instead of kicking the ball or playing passes and stuff, I'm upset. After the game, you just moved on from the group stage. You did not do it to the level of the expectation that other people set for you. I don't know what your expectations were. I'm not in the locker room. Yes, you are allowed to do that. If you're doing it instead of something that you were supposed to be doing, then I'm upset. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. Yeah.
And arguing about that will never make. I don't care who said it.
Yeah. It's just look. We can. We've already seen kind of the the responses, the backlash. Some people calling us clowns. Some people calling Carly a clown, and whatever. Like, everybody's allowed to have their opinion. My main issue was really and that's why I think Carly had not had to, but she clarified her statements, and I think it's because of the comments that are so direct and so personal about the character of the players on the team, and she clearly knows everybody very, very personally.
Yeah, you know these people, bro.
So
Imagine I came out after you hosted an episode of Cooligans with a guest host, and I was like, it's just, I honestly think it's the hosts that are there. You'd be like, you know Christian, and you probably know the person who's the guest host, dog. You're saying some wild stuff without saying some wild stuff.
And it doesn't mean that the players need to be coddled, but to say, and really the big issue is like, obviously criticizing dancing is like, all right, fine. Maybe you're like, some people might think you're like a fuddy-duddy and like blah, blah, blah.
It is a little old school. It's a little curmudgeon-y.
But the real issue is that the people, I think a lot, and it kind of bugs me a little bit, is the comments that Carli made about like it seems, you said, quote, like, it seems like these players care more about other stuff than winning. And
what other stuff?
Exactly. What
you
other
gotta
stuff?
say it.
You gotta 10 toes, Carli. Say what it is. What do they care about?
You can't be sturdy and not be sturdy. You know what I mean? If you go and say it, you gotta say it, because we've said this on the show before. If you don't give even at least a somewhat more explicit answer, when you use these vague terms like, oh, I just don't like the culture of the new team, right. Or they care about other things other than winning, you allow us, the listener, not us two in particular, you allow everyone else to place something in that position.
What does she mean exactly?
It's like a film noir movie. Now we make up the ending. So you can be like, no, they meant this. No, she meant this. And it could be something much worse than what you actually meant. You have to be a bit more detailed, a bit more specific.
If you don't want everyone kind of having this debate and trying to parse the words and everything, if you don't want that, then say what you mean. Now,
if you're scared of saying exactly what you mean, then you probably shouldn't have said any of that at all. If you can't say it, then don't start the sentence, bro.
So that's where we stand, but it is what it is. I think everybody's allowed to have their own opinion and
bro,
whatever.
When Alexis Lawless is like, yo, you sure you might want to clarify? When that dude is telling you to clarify your statements, you messed up, bro. You done gone too far.
So I do want to talk about Marta. Let's because this was obviously Brazil being knocked out, and I was saying before, Brazil, I thought, even across the 3 games, even with the loss to France, Brazil looked great. I mean, look, they didn't get it done, and they couldn't score against Jamaica, but it was going to be a tough time because they needed to score, and again, it was really the previous game that I think is where it fell apart. Is like giving up that late goal to France. It put them in a bad position against Jamaica. But now this is Marta's final World Cup, and I don't know how much longer that she will be playing in general. For she plays for the Orlando Pride.
She's 36. If Christine Sinclair got to a World Cup in her 40s, at 40 years old, it seems to me like Marta could.
Yeah, I also thought Marta.
She doesn't believe she can. She said this was her last World Cup. She's also played a lot. She has played a lot
of minutes.
But you know what? Maybe start putting them knees on ice. You know what I mean? Start taking it easy in the club game so you can get to that next World Cup. Marta in USA. She's played in the US for a while. That could be a big one.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the next one's not the US. Where is she? Where is it?
No,
official?
They haven't announced yet.
Okay.
The next one.
I know it's like possible, but
yeah. But this is a player who has just had such a huge impact, and we saw after the match against Jamaica, we saw Bunny Shaw, Shayna. I forgot her last name. Apologies. I don't want to butcher it or say the wrong name, but her first name is Shayna. She just emotional, crying, hugging Marta. There's a sadness in defeating your hero, and you can see how even in NWSL there I forgot who was the player for. I think it was the Spirit, who was the youngest goal scorer in NWSL history. Now I apologize, I forgot her name, but she's like 15 years old, and there was after a couple months ago, after a game against the Orlando Pride, she's waiting in a line, not a line, but she's waiting for Marta to be done giving autographs to fans so that she can get an autograph from her. So
yeah,
it's just
and that's the most. If that doesn't share with you how important Marta is to the sport, that a peer is like, oh my God, Marta with the fans.
Yeah.
It's important, and we honestly transfer the things people are saying about Messi to Marta. Like the fact that players, we had Diego Luna on the show, and Charlie asked him like, "Oh, are you gonna try to get Messi's jersey when you play with him?" And he was like, "Yeah, behind everyone else that plays for RSL and Miami, like his own teammates are like, yo, shirt swap. I mean, that's Marta's level at this game." And I also want, Jordan Angeli made a good point, which I think you forget, or at least I forget. Christian, I specifically say you forget, without having ever asked you.
Why are you bringing up my Alzheimer's on this show?
yeah. Christian, we're doing a show, dude. We're doing a show. You almost forget how much she's tried to be a champion of the sport itself and how much she's fought to have almost every federation and every nation care about the women's game as much as they have, and has told people to watch it and to back it and to support it. And you almost forget that because she's such a great player. You forget about she's also a great person off the pitch and a great advocate for the sport. It's a real miss if she doesn't make it to the next World Cup, which again, I think she can.
I mean, when it comes to, my first thought as far as not only a great player, but an ambassador for the game, and Pele very, very publicly did this. He became almost the face of the sport. And Marta has just had so many incredibly memorable interviews and post-game comments and very just emotional and inspirational speeches. And so it's great to see. It's almost like I'm excited. It'll be sad to not see her play anymore, but I'm excited of what she can do for the game, off the pitch, and more than she already does now. I mean, the last couple of years she's dealt with a lot of injuries. That's why I don't think she'll make another World Cup. I don't think she'll maybe retire right now, but she missed almost all of last season, and it's catching up to her, I think, at this point. But I'll give her credit, because in this game against Jamaica, I thought she started the game, and I thought she was incredible. This is why
she probably should have started, though.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, she laid off those incredible slip passes to Debinha, and Jamaica just defended well, but she had two or three. She created 2 or 3 great chances that I don't think any other player on that Brazil squad creates in that moment. This is why I'm also thinking, even from the U.S. perspective, that we shouldn't have this assumption that the older players will not be able to keep up, or they won't be able to contribute. And that's why I thought Marta's performance in this game was a great example. I thought she played really, really well. I thought she kept up athletically and pace.
I'm going to continue to say a player like her would make such an insane difference coming in the second half than starting.
All right.
I think if as much as she's able to keep up and whatnot, I think if there's one thing that just because of age will happen is you will just tire out faster than someone younger.
Sure. I mean, she played 65 minutes, something along those lines. So not bad by any means.
I guess, for me, the shift, I mean, as much as I love the Jamaican backline, you got two people named Swaby. That's pretty dope. As much as I love the backline, you got Marta coming in when you're already tired. Mm-hmm. That's got to be a huge change. Same with Rapinoe. I probably wouldn't bring Rapinoe in the 61st minute, but to bring someone like Rapinoe in the 70th minute, 75th minute, you've just been running for 75 minutes, and now all of a sudden here comes just a generational player. That to me makes such a big such a big impact.
I'll probably share this maybe tomorrow or another day, but there was there's a lot of great people on TikTok that do I think some really, really great analysis on a lot of the games. I think what happens around, I mean, our show is not a very analytical, sort of tactical, comprehensive thing when it comes to these matches, and I think for the most part, when it comes to women's soccer, we don't really get that at all, or at least not as much, not to the degree.
Bro,
that we
the
get
NWSL website doesn't even do it.
It's kind of frustrating. And then there was I'll get his name in a second. But there was a guy that did a sort of heat map and touch map for the U.S. Women's National Team, and the one stat that stood out: Andy Sullivan had 5 touches in the first half, and Megan Rapinoe she played about 20 minutes or something, had the same or just a few more touches than Andy Sullivan. And it's like he points out by saying like not to pick on Andy Sullivan because really I do think it's like a coaching issue. But the midfield is transparent. There when you look at the touch map and the links of play for Portugal and for the U.S. and in the middle of the pitch, there's almost nothing going on for the U.S. midfield. And this is why the comments about like the dancing and the players don't really want it and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, it is it's just not that. This team tactically is not giving the tools to succeed. I mean, there's no way you can get around the fact that there is a transparent midfield.
Right.
It's crazy. So
if you give a professional ice skater rollerblades and they go out there and bust their ass on the ice, you can't go, they just didn't want it bad enough. These players don't have the tools.
Without a doubt. So look, it's like we need to chill because we're getting all worked up. But like,
bro, we are getting wild worked up. I need to chill. If only there was a product that told me on that product that it was ready and chilled so that I could open it, drink it, and then be chill. If only that existed, Christian, my life would be better.
If only. But you know what? Conveniently, it does. An ice cold Coors Light because the mountains turn blue right on the can and let you know when it is cold enough to drink. And you know what the best time to drink it is? During the Leagues Cup.
That's just what I was about to say. Messi's back, baby, playing in Leagues Cup. Mm-hmm. And yo, the excitement that the whole world is watching.
Right.
Oh my God. I'm just thinking about it. I need to chill even more. So exactly. I can't wait for Leagues Cup competition to start back up again tonight. We're down to the bracket. It's absolutely incredible. Knockout stages are here.
It's great.
I need to open up a nice cold crisp Coors Light.
Exactly, because everybody has been waiting for this Argentinian number 10 to show up in America, and we're all excited about Maxi Morales coming back to NYCFC.
He's back, baby. Let's go. Hudson River Derby. Let's go.
So this summer, stay passionate and stay refreshed with an ice cold Coors Light, official beer of Leagues Cup 2023. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/Cooligans.
Come on. You guys already know it's CoorsLight.com/Cooligans. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Vamos. So the final thing we'll talk about real quick before we wrap up is we have to talk Inglaterra.
Oh, yeah.
They have obviously they played yesterday. They played very, very well.
You know what? Just like the Latinos have now given reggae to the Jamaicans, I think we as Americans should give soccer to the English.
Fine, you know what? They could use it. Okay, I'm happy to help them out.
I feel like, hey, maybe it's not all darts. Maybe you guys can play this game. You kick a ball.
Nice little cultural exchange. But no, we talked about it very briefly. But we just have to give England their flowers because they really look great in this tournament. The last game.
This is with a lot of injuries too.
Right. But the Lauren James, we talked about her a little bit yesterday, but
special player,
and the lineup even for England was a little unorthodox. So obviously, we were talking. I think we mentioned this before. Rachel Daly as like a fullback, and
a wing back, but still, Rachel Daly is like she's won some awards for scoring goals. You might want her to start a little closer to the goal.
A little straight up, just 9. Okay, we all know. We've seen Rachel Daly at Houston. She knows what she's doing. And she scored a great goal in their game as well. But just such a team that is having a good time. They are having fun playing. They are
the antithesis of the vibes with the U.S. Women's National Team.
100%. So they're going to be playing. England will be playing against Nigeria, but their game against China, they had 6 goals. Who were the goal scorers? Obviously.
It was
Alexis Russo.
Alexis Russo finally scored one. You got Hemp. James scored a brace.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel Daly scored one as well.
Should have been a hat trick.
Facts.
Okay, Lauren.
Facts.
That should have been a hat trick. That was.
It was offside though.
It was. I mean, but you know what? I mean, but look.
Yeah.
We got it on camera. She did.
Even China was like, bro, just let it go. Like, don't worry about it. We ain't coming back on this one, bro.
But it was impressive to, she scored an incredible goal with her. Is she right-footed or left-footed? I assume she's right-footed.
I'm starting to think both. Did you see Mishi Bashuai?
Yeah, you mentioned this yesterday.
Yeah.
He was basically just like, yo, I need to do shooting drills with Lauren
Yeah.
James because I need
bro,
to.
I'm watching Lauren James tape as opposed to mine, bro. I think I might learn something.
But that left-footed, the one that was called offside, when she did it with the left, I'm like,
I was like,
yo, how are
damn, bro.
you how are both feet this clean with these curlers?
Yo, I didn't know your nickname was ambidextrous. Dang.
A long ass nickname, but
No,
okay.
I didn't even get that. Where do you even write it?
Okay. No, but this is I think a statement performance, a statement win, and this is going to be I guess look, they're clearly one of the favorites to win the whole thing.
I would say because of the way France is playing, and by the way, China did score on a penalty. But because of the way France is playing, because of the way Germany's playing, because of the way Spain is playing, and because of the way the U.S. women's national team is playing, I think England has gotten to the point where they may now be the favorite.
Oh, they may now be the favorite. You said not.
Yeah.
No, they may. Yeah.
No, they may now be the favorite.
Yeah, I feel good. I think Japan, based on these three games, Japan feels
It's hard to say Japan's the favorite because they may be your dark horse right now.
Okay.
But the favorite?
Yeah, I guess maybe. I think we can base it on like betting odds. Like usually the bettors kind of determine like who the favorite is per se. And I don't think Japan is getting great odds or really they're not the favorites. That's what it sort of seems like. So I don't think what Japan has done is like some fluke. They're
incredible. I love how they're like, bro, we don't want to touch the ball, but when we do, we're gonna score. By the way,
exactly.
Real quick.
So props to England because they've looked really, really sharp. So a lot
Two
of
players on England that I also really like: Georgia Stanway and Lucy Bronze. Lucy Bronze plays for Barcelona.
Legend.
She's a baller, bro.
This is.
I think Georgia Stanway plays for Bayern. I think also a baller, bro.
Stanway plays for Bayern Munich. That's right.
There you go.
Okay.
Absolute ballers on this team. I still feel confident as the U.S. because we got so much talent. But that confidence is teetering a little bit.
I'm looking at other teams' coaches. I'm like, y'all not interested? Maybe can we do a little trade during the World Cup?
Yo, real quick, you mind if we just look at your notes? Hey, I'm not trying to steal what you're doing. I'm just trying to show our coach what notes are supposed to look like. Because I think he's just doodling on his notepad.
I can't prove it, but I have a really strong feeling.
The whole page says Andy Sullivan written 1,000 times. I don't know what to do. Bro.
So, all right, a lot of big results today, and more matches coming tomorrow. We'll keep going. We keep going.
And listen, they don't stop. I feel bad saying we're tired. Like, oh, we're so exhausted. We're doing all these shows. These players are running 6 miles a game in a World Cup. A lot of pressure. So if they're playing and going, we're gonna keep playing and going.
So we out here. The Cooligans Women's World Cup Daily every single day. Join us. Come through tomorrow. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Shout out to everybody watching on DraftKings Network. And we'll be back again, as always, with your favorite comedic coverage of the Women's World Cup.
Can we just start calling ourselves the Sarcasticans just so you people stop freaking out?
We might have to. All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.